Okay. The live session has started. Let me just share my screen. So currently you are working as a. Okay. Correct. So what we're gonna do is, just a second. I'll just check out if the recording is happening or not. Yes, it is happening. Okay. Okay. Done. So in this course, I'll be actually teaching you full stack. When I say full stack, it means what? Okay. What are the technologies we'll be dealing with? So just a second. Yes. Okay. Right. Just a second. I'll just put this in the paint so that I can edit it as I like. Okay. So you already have knowledge of basics of front-end development, right? You already know what is front-end development and how it works. Okay. Perfect. I just want to know how much of JavaScript. Okay. So have you done asynchronous? Yes, asynchronous promises and everything. Okay, then I think, yeah, then you are good with JavaScript, HTML, CSS also. I hope in CSS you have learned Flexbox and box model, right? Have you learned in CSS Flexbox and box model? Okay. Your sound is a little feeble. If you can come closer to the mic, it would be great. Okay, okay, okay. Not a problem. Okay, because when we are doing the projects, I'll be teaching from the very basics. Okay, everything we'll be doing on our own. Okay, then we'll be moving to the backend. When I say backend, so we have to choose a language here. The language can be Ruby on Rails. It can be JavaScript, which provides us Node.js. It can be your C Sharp, which provides us .NET. Okay, it can be Java, which provides us Spring. You would have heard Spring Boot. Okay, and the new thing with Python is Django. So in this course, we'll be going with JavaScript, as in we'll be learning Node.js. Inside that, we'll be actually learning, or we'll be actually becoming MERN developer. When I say MERN developer, what does MERN stand for? M stands for MongoDB, which is a database. And then we have E. E stands for Express. Okay. Express is basically the node which we were working on. To make things little easier, we use Express. In the front end, we'll be using little bit of React. Okay. We'll be using what is React. We'll see that. So basically, React is very awesome thing. Okay, you would have learned front end till now. Okay, you would have felt a problem that there are three files for making a project: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. The same problem developers also faced, and they created something called as a React.js, by which they can do all the three in one page itself. Okay, in one JavaScript, and then obviously N stands for Node.js. So in this course, we'll be completing all this as a MERN development. We'll be learning a lot of things like what is Git. Okay, we will be cloning. We'll be sending a repository. A lot of things we'll be learning. Also, MongoDB is one which is getting famous. I know MySQL has been in a legacy, but nowadays most of the startups and most of the people are shifting towards MySQL from MySQL to MongoDB. What is the reason? Yes, right now also MongoDB is more popular, but for few of the MNCs are there, right? Big companies who don't want to change the databases because they have been long working with that same technology. Then we have something called as DevOps. DevOps is basically you can use Amazon Web Services or this is your uh, Firebase, and this is Infinity. Also, some a new technology which has come up is called as a Heroku. If you have heard about Heroku, so this is also gaining a lot of popularity after AWS. So we'll be learning Heroku, and also we'll be doing a major project, and we can choose AWS or Heroku depending upon your choices if you can see it. Okay. And mobile app development, we won't be doing mobile app development. But if you want to learn further after web development, full stack web development, full stack web development, you can go with mobile app development. Okay. Is that good? Perfect. With that, we'll start our course. And I'm a person who directly wants to jump. I don't do much of theory. I like to explain theory with code. Okay. So, what we'll be doing now, we'll be starting with, I'll just give you the introduction also how our course is going to be. Okay. Yes. Yes, it's a web server. Similar to AWS. Correct. Okay. Heroku is not more popular, I told right. AWS comes in the first, then comes Heroku. Also, Firebase also comes in between. As in, Heroku is the one which is getting a lot popular because of the less price, okay, and more dynamics. So, in coming future, what I have thought is Heroku is the one which is gonna be. So, I thought of teaching students also the same. Okay. So, however, I'll be teaching you both then. In that case, okay. Perfect. So how is gonna our course be? How I'll be teaching you one by one. Okay. Let me just open up Paint. Over here, I'll be just structuring how our course is gonna be. So first of all, I'll be just brushing you up quickly. You already know front end. So I think uh, a quick brush up will be good, but I won't do the brush up like teaching you what is HTML, what are the bodies, everything. We'll create a project. Okay. Then we'll be moving to Node.js, learning complete Node.js. When I say complete, you might find out a lot of courses or syllabus in online, but I know what is the industry need. Okay, what are the industry needs and what are the technologies which are not mostly covered. So I'll be covering the complete Node.js. It's gonna be a little tough, also very much exciting because we'll be learning a lot of things. Then from there, I'll be taking you to React.js. React.js. Over here, we'll be doing a major project, which would obviously include your MongoDB database. Okay. So this is a course. Most of the courses will tell you to learn React first, then Node.js. That I don't recommend because if I just open up a React project, you'll be seeing some folder structures, which is very difficult to understand. But once you have done Node.js and then you are coming to React, it will be very much easier. And you will say, okay, what is the need of React.js? I can do much better than React.js. Okay.
That's great.
So with that, let me just save this and keep it in the desktop. What we'll do is we'll create a folder and we'll just name it as full stack dev. I'll just write your name so that I can figure out. I've just written full stack development. I've just created a folder.
Okay.
Let's go ahead, and what we'll do is we'll open a browser, whichever favorite browser you have, and we'll simply type down over here Node.js. Okay, so as I code, I'll tell you what is Node.js. It is not that I won't be covering theory, but little bit over here. Node.js is an open source, cross-platform, backend JavaScript runtime environment. What is that? What does that mean? And also, it works in V8 engine. What is this engine? Okay, we'll be discussing about it.
Okay.
I hope that you know what is open source. Open source as in
Yeah, it's a free available. We don't need to pay anything to any other.
correct. But the latest thing is you can find okay. Where do you find the codes of Node.js? I mean, Node.js has been built, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So the open source means that the codes will be available to public. So where is that code? Where is it available? So it is available in nothing but GitHub. Do you have GitHub account?
Uh, yeah, I don't have an. Yeah, I have an account, but I never used in GitHub.
Okay. Okay, no problem. Just create a GitHub account. Okay, you already have, right? So we'll be using GitHub a lot of times. I'll tell you why it is needed and why it is very much important.
Yeah, it's. I think it's very important right now for
Very,
that.
very important. Yes, very important. So over here we can find Node.js. Okay, and if we go inside Node.js, we can find the actual code. Okay. Obviously we won't be able to understand. Okay, and one thing we can see over here is how many people have contributed to make this Node.js, and still they are contributing. That's why it is getting more and more famous.
Okay.
As in, I'll just tell you, a language. When does a language get famous? Okay, when people starts using the most. When will people use it? When they find that others are using. So these people have made it famous. And also one more thing, you can see what all languages they have used to create Node.js. JavaScript, Shell, C++. Okay, one thing to notice. Then TypeScript and HTML they have used to build your Node.js.
Okay.
Okay, so over here, what we'll do is we'll just quickly go here and download the latest version. Okay, so this is the latest version 17.6.0, but we're gonna not download this. Why? Since this is open source, me and you can make changes in Node.js. As in, I find tomorrow that there is something missing in Node.js, right? What I can do is I can come to GitHub. I can tell I want to make some changes, okay, and the changes will be made. So obviously there will be a lot of people who are making some errors, right? I don't want to download that. So the one which is more stable, I'll be downloading this. I already have this downloaded, so okay, got downloaded. Okay, so it is already downloaded. So what you can do is you can go ahead and install it.
And we can install directly from npm command. What?
npm. First you need to download npm. When you download this node, right? npm will come with it. So with
Okay.
npm, you can download further packages. I'll tell you what are those packages and everything.
Okay.
We stand the people of Ukraine. We can build professional. So what all languages you have learned before? Have you learned Python?
No,
Okay.
not Python. I have learned coding writers in PHP framework, and basically most of the time I worked on PHP.
Okay. PHP, right.
And in PHP, I have used some framework like mostly I used a coordinator framework. But
Okay.
as per the current scenario, I have to upgrade my technology.
Right.
And just I research on the net and I find out React.js and Node.js and React.js, Node.js, Python, Laravel.
Right.
These are the technology which are currently more popular.
Correct. So Node.js is having a very huge market now.
Mhm.
Node.js and then moving to React, Next.js. Yeah, a huge market is there.
Yeah, yeah. And there are lots of developments are doing in current scenarios.
Right.
So, sir, you are mostly worked on Node.js and React.js, right?
No, my domain includes me to learn all of these technologies which I showed you, right? I mean, Spring Boot, Spring Boot, then we have ASP.NET, also we have, you know,
Okay.
everything, totally everything, MySQL, everything.
So, sir, your company is in US based.
Yeah, my companies.
US based.
No. Have you heard about TCS, Tata Consultant
Okay, you are in
Services?
TCS.
Right. I've worked for last three companies. I've recently joined TCS. Not recently, it has been few months now. The learning opportunities are more, though the pay is not that great, right? But it is very good towards learning. So have you installed it?
Just downloading it.
Okay, let it take time. Okay, I want it to take time because I want to explain you more things now. Okay. So over here, I'll explain you directly. All right. So why Node.js? Any idea why Node.js we are learning? Like we were able to build a very good looking website using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, right?
Right.
So what is the need of Node.js or any other thing like any other thing, ASP.NET or Spring, anything?
You are asking, sir,
Yes,
we can use Node.js. Why you are using Node.js? We
right.
can use any other framework.
No, as in why Node.js or any of these things?
Actually, it's work on server side.
Perfect, very good. Like, so what happens is HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Have you worked all of these in VS Code?
VS Code, yeah.
Yeah. So have you used something called as a live server?
Live server, yeah.
Right? So when you create everything, you just click on live server and the HTML page is shown, right? In the
Right.
website. So what is actually happening? Let me tell you, this is very important. So what happens is you need, okay, suppose this is a person, okay, with the computer and everything, and here is the server. So when you search any website, what happens is when you search, suppose you search like, okay, uh, suppose you search github.com. So what actually happens is you send a request to the server. This is very important because we will be doing Node.js and we'll be understanding what is request and everything. And the server response back to the browser, response back to the browser with your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Is this correct?
Correct.
So what happens is, suppose you needed to create a server. This server won't be available for free, right? So what happens is your VS Code provides a server, a live server, which is temporary. Since it is temporary and it is local, okay, I'll tell you what is local host. Okay, so it will be only working in your system or in your IP address, to be more specific. Okay, but if you want to put your website into the global, right? Anyone in the world can search your website. You need to go for global servers, which we'll come to later. We can do it with AWS, Heroku, or any of these things. Infinity, GoDaddy, like a lot of them are there. So now, what Node.js solves, okay? Because we were able to do all of this. One thing was, first of all, to connect these HTML, CSS, JavaScript with a database. Okay. You have already worked with PHP, or you have already worked with MySQL also, right?
Right.
So when you were using MySQL, you remember, right? You have to use XAMPP server or WAMP server,
Yes.
right? So one thing we have understood that this database also wants a server to work. This also wants a server to work. So why don't we? Okay, and also one more thing, to connect this bridge between, PHP came up. Okay, PHP came up to connect HTML, CSS, JavaScript with your database, but it was not that much effective. And also, people were finding it a problem because, again, one more language a person had to learn, right? Because already CSS, HTML, and JavaScript was more than enough. Again, one PHP for database again. So that's how Java was very famous. So Java was like, okay, let me make a web framework, and they named it as Spring to connect. So then people again they started up. Python came up with something called as Flask. If you would have heard, it failed. Then they made Django. So JavaScript was waiting all the time, thinking what we should come up with. So they came up with Node.js, and it is very much popular because people have to learn JavaScript and they can start with Node.js. They don't have to learn again Python, Java, or C sharp, anything.
Okay.
Okay. So I hope that you have understood why we are using. So we are able to create server for both of them. Also, we are able to connect the bridge using Node.js.
Basically, Node.js is used for connecting bridge between HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or database.
Yes. Also, not only that, okay, Node.js, suppose this request and response, right?
Right.
This one, because Node.js is a server now. So request and response is handled beautifully
Using Node.js.
using Node.js. You can do n number of things with Node.js. Also, this is the era of API. I mean, you would have heard Web 1.0, Web 2.0, and now the latest is Web 3.0, which a few companies like Meta, maybe Facebook, Google, okay, a few companies are working, building a metaverse or a platform where people can interact more nicely. Web 2.0 is nothing but interaction of API. What is this API? Okay. API is basically, suppose there is a company who releases weather information about every day. Okay, every hour, this company releases some data. Now I want to create a weather app for me. So what I'll do is simply to connect two websites, I'll use API. These APIs can be paid, it can be free.
And there are two types of API. JSON format, it's a format, JSON format and XML based format.
Right. And now a lot of other formats have come up. Okay. Not only JSON. Okay. Google has developed another format. I have forgot the name. It is much more faster. They are saying we'll look into that, but we'll be using with JSON because XML. I don't think people are using it. Only MNCs.
Yeah, if they are using any like ASP.NET technology, then they are using it.
Yes, correct. Perfect. Okay. So these APIs, what are okay? This can also be handled beautifully with Node.js. Okay, very nicely. So we'll be seeing how it is working, how to fetch the data, everything about Node.js. With this, I hope you have
So
understood.
basically,
Yeah,
basically, sir, in Node.js, we can do database connectivity and then directly interact with the database, right?
correct, perfect. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Also, one more thing, when you, if you remember, if you were writing some Java, okay, suppose console.log, okay, and to see the output of the JavaScript, you used to go to the browser, right?
Right.
Browser is nothing but your client side. The client side means you or your side or
Correct.
user side. Now Node.js, if you write same thing, console log, right? Console log. This time, since this is a server side, okay, because Node.js is nothing but it is creating a server, you will be finding all the answers in your VS Code itself. You don't have to go to the browser.
Okay. They directly show all those errors or all those success messages in
Yes,
VS Code.
correct, perfect. So now I hope that you have installed Node.js.
I have downloaded it just.
No problem. Take time. The more time you take, the more information you'll be getting here. So, okay. Okay. So we'll be learning all of this and Node.js. Okay. What all things we'll be learning? You wanted to know. So the first thing we'll be starting off with file system. Why file system is important? Not that much important, but still you should know it. Okay. So file system as in crude operation using file system. Then we'll be directly jumping into creating our first server. Okay. I hope you're listening.
Yeah, one second. I'm just
Yeah.
extracting that file,
Okay, okay,
Node.js.
okay, okay, do it.
Can I share my screen?
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah.
So just I have downloaded this file
Right.
and just I'm going to extract. It shows this error message.
Uh, okay. Break operation. Click on break operation. Nothing is happening.
No.
Okay, just close it. Not a problem. Okay.
So in here it shows this thing.
Okay, fine. This is what we need. Okay, go to bin folder.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, we have all of it. Okay. So what we'll do is I'll share my screen how to go proceed after this.
Okay. One second. I just. Yeah.
Okay. So how to proceed after that? You didn't get a setup, right?
Yeah.
Nothing like this. You got?
Okay. Can you repeat again?
Yes. So ये क्या है कि ये जो एक नोड है ना, तो ये एक वो मिलता है, मतलब एक इंस्टॉलर पैकेज मिलता है ऐसा exe टाइप. So you have not got that exe type, right?
No, I don't. Don't work.
Okay, no problem. What I can do is I can.
So can you share the link from where we can download? I
हाँ
can download that.
हाँ, ये करता हूँ मैं एक्चुअली. एक काम करता हूँ मैं ऐसे करके ना, कॉपी लिंक एड्रेस, सो दैट डायरेक्टली इफ यू क्लिक ऑन दिस ना तो ये खुल जाएगा.
Yes. Yes. So now it's downloaded.
Hmm.
So I think I'm just going to download, install that file, right?
Right. You can share a screen because I'm not doing anything.
There are some less space in my system on my PC on C
Oh,
drive.
okay.
So I think I have to clear some more space.
Files.
Okay, sir, I will do that later on.
Okay then. Since this is recording, right? You can find
Yes.
it again. Right. Not a problem. Okay. So let me share the screen. But I have to show you how to install it. Okay. So once you have installed it, okay, you can go to your C. Okay, where it has got installed. So you will find it inside program data, node. Okay, program files, Node.js. Okay, inside Node.js modules, everything is here. This is okay. Bin. So basically, know how to put the things in the environment variable. Have you worked with environment variable before?
No, no, sir.
Okay, no problem. I forgot where I installed it actually. I can see Node.js here, but the bin is not there. Okay, yeah, got it. Okay. So you will be getting a folder structure like this, okay, where you have this node here. So go
So
inside
once I
node.
install the Node.js, then sir, I got the folder structure, right?
Yes. Okay. So what will be happening actually is why I'm telling you this. So if you just write cmd as an open command prompt, and if you just write down node -v, you can see the node version.
Okay.
Okay, why it is showing it here. By default, it would have got installed and it won't be showing here. It's because this path, okay, npm path has not been added yet to your system. So what you can do is you can come down inside the bin, inside npm, inside bin, copy this path, Then search environment variables. Environment. Or edit the system environment variables. Click on this. Over here, simply click on environment variables, and over here you will be finding my environment variable. Node. Mm, okay, for MongoDB it is present. Flutter. It will be present. If it is not present, you can simply do one thing. You can just click on new. Okay. You can simply name it anything like node, and whatever value you have copied, you can just paste it here. I click OK. Okay. With this, by default, it would be working. If it is not working, I'm telling you this. Okay. So you can do like this. And now if you go to your terminal and if you write node hyphen version, you will be getting the version you are currently working with. This is 16.13.0 here. Then what you can simply do is you can open a VS Code. So this is the folder where I'm going to teach you Node.js from the starting to the end. So over here, what you can do is you can simply click on right click and open with code. If this option is not there, you can simply open VS Code